Good morning, guys. Today we start on the concept of leadership and everything that's connected to leadership. Leadership is a very important concept in our lives, but most of the times it's complex and misunderstood in the sense that there are many layers to it, and most of the time we try to just get hold of maybe a single top layer. uh, for example, when you look at your life, all those who are watching this video, you have managed to come up at a certain level in your life, in your career, and somehow you have planned it. And the fact that you are taking this leadership course, or you are even watching this leadership video, points out to the fact that there is something there on your mind where you want this process to take you to. So when you are planning so much about your life and taking yourself to a goal, is not that a part of leadership? Are you not you're leading your life and career towards it? Then someone may ask, then what about followers? Uh, the people who depend on you, if you're married, your family, if you're not married, your brothers and sisters, or even the society of large, or even the friends who look up to you and see how you have charted your career, and maybe they would want to emulate that and also take some tips of it. Are you not influencing their lives also? Aren't they not your followers in some sense? So normally, if you ask a person on the street, are you a leader? He will say, or she will say no. But that's not really the case. We are all leaders in some sense because we have a goal in life, we make a plan for it, and based on that plan, we are influencing others. So, all these are aspects of leadership. So, having said that, as a brief intro, we will go into what leadership is. And as we discuss each point, you will reflect on what I have said on my in my introduction. So you will understand more clearly what we are talking about. Having said that, we'll go to the first slide. In this module, we will discuss two things: meaning of leadership and scope of leadership. Maybe I'll break this video into two so that it becomes short length and easily manageable for all. So we will be dealing with meaning and scope of leadership. Meaning in the sense that what does leadership really mean? We have many ideas. So now we will go into professionally what does leadership, and the scope of leadership. Scope in the sense that there are many times we misunderstand about the scope. Maybe we don't understand what scope is about, and it's difficult for us to write about it, especially in the exam. Imagine you have a storeroom where there are many pots of different materials, like grains, like you have pulses, you have the rice, you have wheat, you have spices, you have sugar, you have oil, and all these things go together into the kitchen to be produced as food. So this storage room is like leadership, and inside that leadership there are many things that are useful and have a reason. But everything does not fall into everything. You cannot use rice the same way as use sugar. Things will not be so good in the dish. Yeah. And but every part has its own meaning, and you know how to handle it. You may go and wash your rice, but you don't go and wash your sugar, right? You don't do that with oil either. So having said that, we will move into the meaning of leadership now. Guiding others towards a vision. Going back to the first example I gave you about yourself. When you chart your life as a course, you guide others towards the vision. For example, a leader of an organization, of a school, of a college, says that I want my school to be a digital school. Everything must be digital, no paperwork. So that is the vision. So then you will guide your managers, your principals, your staff towards planning towards that vision. So you guide others. See, the important word is guiding. As a leader, you guide, you don't force things onto them. Leadership is influencing people towards a common vision. See, guiding, influencing, not forcing, not coercing people towards a common vision. If I believe that my school must be digital, then my followers, my teachers, my staff, my students also must believe that becoming digital is useful. It is a common vision and it will be successful. If you force onto it, it will not be successful because there's some one guy who will try to sabotage everything. So it has to be a common vision. Leadership is about trust, not titles. I said before that if you ask a guy on the street, "Are you a leader?" He'll say, "No, I'm not a leader," because in his mind, the concept of leadership is about a position, about an administrative position, but it is not about title. Mahatma Gandhi did not have a title of a leader, but he was a leader. The moment he said stop, the whole India would stop. And it became a headache to the British because they didn't know there was no illegal things happening to arrest him or the people. But if things were stopped, then raw materials couldn't go to England and their factories were getting suffered. Their economy is getting burned because of this guy. But he had no official position. It was just trust. They trusted him. They knew his intent was clear. It was for the good of the country, for the freedom of the country. That is a leader. So leaders are navigators setting a path and inspiring others to follow it. In the sense that when you want to go somewhere, today the modern world immediately tells you that you take Google and you put the map and it will show. So what is the Google Maps? It's a navigator. It's your leader. You are the follower. It will tell you go here, go there. This is crowded and this road is blocked. And in the end, it says that this is the fastest route to your destination. That's its leader. It pre-handles all possibilities for you so that your life becomes easy. But in today's world, the leader makes his or her life easy and creates trouble. So you see, when some leader is visiting your country or your state or city, all the roads are paved, everything is clean, everything is whitewashed, everything is clear. But when you go the next day, there are potholes. There is shit lying everywhere. It's unfortunate, but this not should be the case. Definition of meaning of leadership. Here, we have discussed to some extent about leadership and most of it. But when some guy, when he becomes famous, what he says becomes the definition. So now I'm not famous, but this is my definition of leadership. Leadership is a process of influencing and guiding individuals or groups to achieve common goals. It is a process. You cannot achieve in one day. And you have to have the ability to be able to influence and guide people. So it is your ability to influence and guide people through a process of individuals and groups. It's not about you. Once again, I'm telling you, as a leader, it's not about you. It's never about you. To achieve common goals. It is not your goal. It is a common goal for you and them and for the institution. Most of the time, leaders have their vision, their will, they want to go and they force everyone to do. You like it or not, this is what it is. I think that this will help the country and so you have to follow it. No, that is not the case. You have to consider what will people go through after this decision. Are they with me? Have I taken them with me or I'm just giving them some jhatka? It involves mission, motivation, and effective communication. See, if you're not able to communicate effectively, your vision, your motivation, they will not get influence because leadership is about influence, so they will not get influence. Now, suppose if I stand on a stage and I say, Yeah, we want to, go somewhere and achieve this, and I want. No one is going to follow me, right? No one. But if I'm firebrand and say, yes, this is what where I want to go, and this is what we want to do, we have to stop this fire. Why leaders are called firebrand? Because they spew fire to the words, and fire gives heat and it gives energy to the people who are listening to this word, and they said, yes, we will do it. Sometimes, they go and break things. It's a way. Let's not debate wrong or right, but it's a way. You see, they get so fired that they burn buses and create more fire. Leadership provides direction, purpose, inspiration. Again, same repetition: direction, purpose, inspiration to achieve goals. So anything about leadership you say is about influencing. It about direction is goals, people influencing, and that is all leadership is all about. So we go to the next slide. Let's see some very big famous guy what he has said. Peter Tucker. Peter Tucker was one of the biggest influential thinkers in management and leadership. So whatever he said became books. So let's see what he says. He says that the only definition of a leader is someone who has followers. Very, very, very true. If you have no followers, no matter what vision you have, no matter what mission you have, no matter how effective in your communication, no matter how caring, it doesn't matter. You have no followers, you are not a leader. Provides direction, clarity, and motivation. So direction, clarity. Clarity means what? You are bringing them along with you. You are giving clarity. मैं ये क्यों करना चाहता हूँ, इसलिए करना चाहता हूँ, क्या आपको ये बात समझ में आती है? It is not that suddenly ऐसे ये मैं चाहता हूँ करना पड़ेगा नहीं तो पड़ेंगे टंडे. That is coercion and that is an authoritarian. Drucker reminds us that leadership is validated when people willingly follow it. See, if people are forced to do namaskar to you out of fear, that is not leadership. But people are really happy in their minds to really look up to you, then that is leadership. Yes, there is an extreme following where blindly the IS officers fall to the feet of the minister. That is shameful in a sense, but that is not what leadership is all about. It is about willingly to follow. I don't think so that IS officer willingly is following because he knows that he mera my baap hai and my posting is all in his hands. So he just wants to make sure that he's posted where he wants to be posted. I should imagine the top ISO officers into this situation of fear. Try and understand what our lives are really in the sense. So John Maxwell says that leadership is influence, nothing more. We have already discussed this about how leaders influence people, and they must influence people. Leadership is measured by positive impact. So it doesn't matter whether you influence people, how much, how less. But if it does not have any positive impact, then it's not going to be any useful leadership, meaningful leadership. For example, I'll give an example. If you have to go from take a group from your college to some place where you are supposed to be, say Church Gate, and if you are not able to reach Church Gate on time or reach at all, maybe you reach to somewhere in Juhu Chapati on the beach. Yeah, everyone is enjoying, but it is not the real impact which your institution or your leader has asked you to take you to. Then that is not a positive impact. Maxwell studies that true leadership is the ability to shape decisions and behaviors. Imagine yourself in a group. Since childhood, we have had this experience. Always in a group, there's one person who influences our ways. Maybe we want to go somewhere, and he or she says, "No, no, we will go to this place." So suddenly, no one much debate. They just follow because somehow they know that you know better, you make sense better, and you have always landed the group in a better way. So you just tend to follow. So subconsciously, this person has managed to influence you without you knowing. So that is what leadership is all about. Yeah, people misuse it, but that's a different debate. Warren Bennis, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Once again, right from the beginning we are discussing that is just a repetition, but this is what this guy said: leaders turn goals into action. Goals are there. Without any action, without any influence on your followers to reach there, it has no meaning. Venice highlights the leader's role as a bridge between dreams and achievements. See, when Balasaheb Thackeray came on a political platform, from being a cartoonist, he had a dream of Marathi Manus. So if you see from that time to here, he has been able to achieve it in bits and pieces. See, before it was all in English. Now the signboards are mostly in Marathi. The buses are in Marathi. The bus numbers are in Marathi. And plus now there is a new phase going on. You have to speak Marathi. So people are meeting the other people to say, no, you must speak Marathi. There is a little bit extreme of Marathi Manus. But you see, as a leader, he had a dream. He made the Marathi people think of the dream, and then he has built that bridge between the dream and reality of achievement. Because when he came on the scene, there were a lot of Karnataka people coming into Bombay, and creating a lot of business, earning money. They used to have that Udupi hotels, Hindu hotels, this corner, that corner, and the Marathi person was just a mill worker or Girni Kamgar, and everyone was just doing labor work, and no one was into a good position mostly. So he wanted to change that, and he has changed that. If you see, if you go to a shopping mall and look at those people who are taking four credit cards at the at the counter accidentally or to show. But you can see there's a big change. Leadership versus management. Always there is a debate between why leadership is different than management, because a manager is a leader if he is not a leader. Yes, there is some weight to that, but there is a small nuance into this concept that I'll give you an example. For example, if you go and have two dishes at two street vendors, one puts chaat masala, one doesn't put, you will definitely like the chaat masala thing. Although all the ingredients are same, but there is some slight difference which makes you like that. That is what there is a difference between leadership and management. Mostly more or less looks the same, but it is that small difference in the sense that if you look at leader has a vision. A manager may have a vision, but it is a smaller vision. It is a vision within the vision of the leader. He cannot go with his vision against the leader. He has to manage what the leader has proposed. For example, the college management, the Somaiya management, decides once again to do digital. Then, as a principal of a school or a college, you cannot decide against it. You can have your vision as to how soon, how quickly, in what way you want to make a digital, but it cannot be that I don't want to be digital. So, manager tries to manage what the leadership has decided. Then we go to so it means leadership gives direction and inspiration, and management is about organizational control. Both are essential, but leadership drives vision while management executes it. I just gave an example that to come up with an idea and to dream about that, it is a leader's job. To be implemented and to make sure that it happens, it is a manager's job. So that what the leadership is about. It doesn't mean the leader cannot be a manager or a manager cannot be a leader. If he has to drive his team, he has to be a leader, but he cannot be that leader who really makes vision decisions. Leadership versus management. Leadership is an now let's look since we are in the meaning of leadership, let's look as to a different aspects of leadership, like inspiration aspect of leadership. Then inspires people to go beyond limit. Now, for example, now swimming and you swim a lot, but you always swim on the shallow end. So the coach is always watching you, and I've noticed that you are a good swimmer, but you are always a shallow end because you're afraid to go on the deeper end because you think maybe you will drown. So when the coach inspires you to take a dive at the deeper end, and one day when you really do it, that is what the coach has inspired you to go beyond your limit. Limits are always the boundaries we create around ourselves. Maybe that is not the true boundaries. So when the leader inspires you to break those boundaries, that is what leadership is about. It creates trust and confidence. See, without trust and confidence, I don't think so. The guy will go to the deeper end, and he has to protect his own life. So he knows his coach very well that he's going to take care of him, and he has confidence he'll go and try. Great leaders make others believe. Once again, same thing. Others believe they can achieve more than they can. And leadership as a service. So if you look at leadership in the sense of service, that means the leader is the servant of the people. Unfortunately, today the he treats the people as the or she treats the people as a servant. It is not the case. The leader is the people. I remember once. Long time ago when I was standing in the queue of the railway to take a ticket. When I came to the counter, something happened and he was rude. So I said, you should not be rude because you are a government servant. And that fellow, maybe he was not well educated. Maybe just seventh pass. In those days, in the seventh pass could become the clerks. So he said, अरे मेरे को सर्वेंट बोलता है क्या मैं तेरे घर में आके पोछा मारूं. So he did not understand the concept that he is there to serve the people. We are not there to take his bullshit. But see, that is the case. So success is collective, not individual. When you have a dream, then you don't have a dream for yourself. Unfortunately, once again, in today's leaders, they have a dream only for themselves and they push others to follow it so that their name becomes higher and higher. That is not the case. The dream is for the people which you are dreaming, and you should lead them. It is the dream has to be always for the people, always for the organization, always for the country. But today's world, take for example Trump. I don't think so. He dreams for people. MAGA is all about himself. So whoever gives him the salute gets less tariff. Whoever does not give him the salute gets the biggest tariff. Success is collective, not individual. The servant leadership model prioritizes people before power. So the leader is the servant. Always that's the case, and that must be the case. But we misunderstand the concept of leadership. So emotional intelligence. So when we look at the emotional aspect of leadership, in the sense that a leader must be tuned to the emotional needs of his team, of his followers. He must have at least some kind of empathy towards his people. I remember once, a long time ago, I was working as a salesman, and one week I was not really well, so I couldn't do much of the sales. So at the sales meeting on Saturday, the boss said, "Your numbers are down. I'm not really happy." I said, "Sir, I was not feeling well this whole week. I've been to the doctor twice." He said, "I don't care about you. You are sick or not sick. Unless and until you are dead, it doesn't matter to me. The numbers should be there." At that time, I decided I will leave this company, and I left the company very soon because it's not very advisable to be a part of a toxic culture, because when you are a part of toxic culture, you absorb those toxins, and then at a later point of time when you go out of the office, maybe you spew it on the people who are traveling with you, or in your home, or in your friend circles, because that toxin doesn't remain in you for a long time. You have to pass it on to someone, and that is not a good life you live every day, where you take in toxins. And so the leadership must be emotionally intelligent, in the sense that self-awareness and empathy are crucial. You have to be empathetic. I remember just a few weeks ago, someone tweeted that the trains were had stopped and there was flooding everywhere. So she asked the boss that she cannot come, and the boss said, "I don't care whether the train is there or not there. I want you in office on time." I should say, such a stupid boss, in the sense that he must be or she must be living somewhere near the office and can just walk it. And then if she does not care, or he does not care that the staff is 30 kilometers away from the office. So Like I said, unfortunately, maybe he has not taken my course in leadership. Someone should tell him. Self-awareness, strong relationship builds stronger teams. Of course, see, when I'm not feeling well and he would have given me a reply that okay, maybe get better, have you taken medicines and all, hopefully you're better next week, then we can get back to our results, and I'm there with you, maybe I would have not left the company. Today I'm a very successful person, so that success would be together with him, and not on my own somewhere else. So he has lost this opportunity. Strong relationship brings stronger things. Emotional intelligence helps leaders connect deeply and manage. See, connect deeply. If he was empathetic to me, I would have been connected very deeply with him, and I would have tried to, even though I would have not been well, even for the next week, I would still try to push myself, which did not happen. I pushed myself outside. So shared and dynamic leadership. See now, throughout this section, we are speaking of a leader and people and goals together, objectives together, and growing together. It is shared. It is never my dream. It is me dreaming for you. Shared dreams, shared goals, shared objectives, and dynamic, because dynamic means everything changes every time. You cannot just decide something and say this is it, I don't care, I've decided, so we have to go. No, it does not happen like that. For example, now if you have to go from your college campus to once again to go to Churchgate for a program, and your leader has said okay, go to the station, take the train, reach there, and I'll meet you there, then we go ahead to the venue. Now, having said that, she has left. He has left for whatever work, and he will be there on his own. And he has asked you as a leader of this small group to handle that. Now, suddenly, the trains have stopped because the overhead cable is broken. Now, what to do? Change of plans. So leader must be conducive to that. Leader must have plan B for that. And maybe he or she will say, okay, do one thing, just see if somewhere nearby there is a, you can hire a, a tempo bus, or take Ola cabs, 4 5 in each, and then try to reach her. See, so it is always dynamic. It changes from time to time, and the leader must be open to that. Leadership can be distributed across members. Now the principal has gone there, but he has given charge of small groups to each leader. Adaptability is the key of changing context. Once again, something goes wrong in between, the leader must have plan B and must be able to adapt to those conditions. Leadership is not fixed; it involves time, situation, and people. Depending on people, depending on situation, depending on time, it changes. Now the policies that were there in when we became independent cannot be the policy which we are there now. At that time, there was hunger, there was no literacy, there was poverty. So the programs and plans put at that time had to meet those situations. But those poverty plans cannot be done even today. Now, today, if you are saying that we are giving rights to 100,000 people, that means something has gone wrong. Something has failed somewhere. That even today we are talking about giving rights to people. So it has to change, it has to evolve. But at the same time, you see, we are speaking of digital India and all these things. So it just is not about giving rights, it is about also about digitalizing India. So we will stop here, and we will go into the scope of leadership in the second attempt. Thank you very much, and see you on the other side.